Guys, welcome to today's video. I usually don't do intros with the full face of makeup, but it's very cloudy today. So I use my lights a little bit differently, and I added a ring light, which is quite cold. And at the end of the video, I decided I would change my exposure to see if we can get a better look at what these colors are. And while I can't say if I look exactly like this, I can say that the color of the quad looks a little bit closer. So I'm just going to show it to you. I will show it to you at the end, but the look is going to change a little bit. And here she is, and looking at my monitor, this is exactly the color I see with my eye. And the reason it's important to me is that's, you know, for me, when I first started watching YouTube, a lot of it was about the colors, because what things looked like online were not what they looked like when I saw them in the store. And it's important. I do my very, very best. So before we get into it, I'd like to ask you to consider giving this video a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And I wanted to bring your attention to the THL in the lower right corner. That is a watermark that if you push that, press that, you will actually be subscribed. Isn't that awesomely cool? I think it's pretty cool. I also wanted to always remind you my products are listed in the description box below, and to always check for timestamps. I'm not always sure if I'm going to do timestamps. I may or may not. It depends when I start editing if it would make sense or not, but always do if you want to kind of skip around to see certain products. And without further ado, my regular intro that I already shot with a different exposure, and it's looking a little white. Guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing a full face almost of Charlotte Tilbury because her new Pillow Talk collection is out. So what did I get? I got one of the highlighters. There are two new highlighters. This one is Romance, and it is the lightest, and it looks like this. Then we have the push-up lashes. Now I actually have this in a sample and I kind of like it. This is a new color which is reminiscent to me of the Black Cherry from Clinique, which I actually liked. If you have blue eyes or hazel eyes, it has a little bit of aubergine in it and it helps to bring out the color of your eyes. But the Chanel product, if you got teary, if you had a sneezing fit, if you cried, it happens. It's all over your face. I mean, it doesn't even pretend to hang on to your lashes. So this is kind of exciting for me. There are a lot of re-promotes with Charlotte Tilbury, and if you are not a devotee of the line, it's hard to know. Has this been out before? So when I bought this, I thought it was new. And I also thought it was a blush. I thought, because she has highlighters in a package like this and a blush in a package like this, this was the Pillow Talk blush and it was new. But in fact, it is a Pillow Talk highlighter. And so I have two highlighters. Pillow Talk Dreams Quad, and that's what that looks like. Now, what it looks like in real life and what it looks like on camera, maybe slightly two different things. I do have a lot of lights on today. I have a ring light on today, which I don't like to do because it's very cold, but it is completely socked in. It is 100% cloudy today, and I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. When I received these last night, I looked up this again because the whole idea of Pillow Talk was pinks, and they're just saying that this is a dusty rose, and they're saying that this is a pinky brown, and I'm like, someone here is crazy. I don't think it's me. It depends. I've seen two videos. One of them it looked pinker than the other one. This is a re-promote, and it's funny. I got it the first time it came out, and I really, really liked it, but this was universally panned. And I'm always surprised, like, how come I like this and everybody else hates it? I thought it was a great color, and this is also Color of Dreams. So we're going to be doing this as well. But first, we're going to put on some Charlotte Tilbury foundation. I'm going to cut away and do this because you've probably seen me do it before, and we'll be back in a flash. Just going to powder my lids. Let's do some swatching. Pillow Talk, of course, is the pink collection, and I never got the first one because by the time Charlotte came around to doing them. These feel so incredibly smooth, by the way. I already had them. I was craving that color story for a while, and I bought some blushes in that color story to use as eyeshadows, and a couple of other companies already got there. So when hers came out, I was like, you know what? I don't need it now. Here are these two colors. Now, they're calling the lighter color a dusty rose, and this is a pinky brown, and I honestly don't see it, you guys. It is cloudy today, but actually that can help with the color because the sky color is a little bit different. I watched someone else's video and I thought, okay, I can see some pink there, I can. I watched Charlotte Holcroft's and I thought, no, it looked like this to me. And then I watched Morgan Turner's and there was a little bit of pink. Now Morgan, I think, her skin tone's probably similar to mine, and Charlotte, I think, is a bit darker, or she wears darker. Whether or not she is, I don't know. I got these last night and I thought these are warm. They feel gorgeous though. And I feel like that happens a lot with Charlotte Tilbury. So there is the whole quad on my hand, and to me I'm getting copper, and it's kind of scaring me. Another thing that scares me about Charlotte Tilbury, she doesn't have a lot of mattes, and this is the prime shade. She says you should put this all over, but if you're hooded, it'll just make your hood look huge. But since I just don't really relate to her idea, her breakdown for her eyeshadows, I'm going to do it, but I'm just going to do it on the mobile lid. And I am going to be using my Rephr brushes today because Rephr's having a big sale, and I have my favorite brushes listed in the description box always, along with just a link, my link. This is the O2, but I thought it'd be a good opportunity. I use these all the time. And I'm going to use this prime shade, not all over, but just here. And that's a Rephr O2. So, because this color story is scaring me quite a bit, it just doesn't seem like my wheelhouse. I'm really here about, well, it might be your wheelhouse, that's what it's about, and how these work. This color is much darker than something I would use up here normally, so I'm going to go in with this Rephr 13, which is kind of small, and I'm hoping that it won't be too pigmented, but if it is, at least I only have it in a small place for blending. Lots picking up here. And just kind of feeling that orbital bone. I'm just going to kind of tap it into that orbital bone. And open the eyes to see that you can see some of that color with the eyes open. And just pull out a little bit to help elongate the eye. And I'm touching so lightly, you guys. There. Very pigmented, for sure. You need to use a light hand if you're a beginner. Really, really ginger, but I did see videos where people were just using a big brush and going back and forth, back and forth. That's a lot of color for someone of my skin tone and with my particular eye shape. I mean, my eyes look bigger, for sure. It's just a little bit warm. This side, I can't feel my orbital bone because of my tear duct gland protrudes here, so I'm just kind of fake it, and it's very hard to get these two sides even. And it's very hard to get shadow to adhere right here where that gland is protruding. So I'm just going to go in with this one, the 01, which is kind of like the 217 from MAC, but MAC is only synthetic now, and these are goats. So if you liked that shape and you miss having it in a goat, it's a good way to go. And that helps to soften the color a little bit too. I'm going to pick up the darkest one with the 03 because this is pigmented. If you have darker skin, you guys, you're probably going to be pretty darn happy with this color and with this palette as a whole, if you like warm. And I'm just going to do a soft line with this, and whatever's left, pull up the teeniest bit up here. A little bit of definition, but not too much, because it is dark and I'm hooded, and my hood kind of falls over. So now I'm going to go in with this 13 and just blend it so it's nice and smooth. So this is what it looks like my intended way, but now I just want to pick up the teeniest bit and see what happens. If it's just way, way too dark, hardly touching, you guys. So while this is dark, I do think it's workable. You just have to be very precise and kind of ginger with it. And before I do the other eye, I want to go in with this shade, which is so pretty. I'm going to do it with my finger. One thing Morgan said was to go back because she got a lot of fallout. Yeah, I think this is what just takes it into Copperville. And very soft blend all over. I'm going to do the other side, and we'll come back and play with the mascara, which I'm super excited about, and then move on to cheeks and lips. Back in a sec. Alright, I went in with the eyeliner in Smoky Gray. It used to be called Vrushka. So what are the claims with this mascara? Charlotte Tilbury has a very predictable way of promoting her products from the get-go. I thought her kiosk at Nordstrom's had kind of a carnival look to it, like, you know, an old-fashioned carnival marker. Step up right here! 93% agreed. Mascara gives lashes a voluminous definition. Step right up, folks. You've never seen mascara like this before. 96% agreed lashes look magnified and amplified. You know what I mean? It's a little much. Her marketing, her packaging is like that, and her kiosk was like that too. It was just a little strange. Let's give this a go. If you haven't seen it before, this wand is kind of flat. And I think Fenty Beauty did something like this a little while ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I'm very interested to see, because lately I've been thinking, I really want to get a brown mascara. And this might do it. It's not quite as aubergine. Oh, that's really pretty, you guys. I'm going to bring you in. Look at that. It's just a softer color. Sometimes black, especially if you have small eyes. I feel it can make my eyes look smaller. And I at least would like to have something else in my collection, a choice. So that's lovely. I'm going to put some on my hands so you can get an idea of what this color is. You know what? It's a cool brown. It's a cool brown, and I feel that that coolness is driven by a little bit of a purpley nature, but it's not as purple as the Black Cherry Mascara from Clinique. So this, I'm kind of excited about. So let's go on with the cream blush before we do the highlighters. I just loved this color because it felt like it was the kind of color that would come from my cheeks naturally. But people did not like this, and I'm really not sure why. Color of Dreams, swatched. You can also use that on your lips, but I don't think I want to. And I'm just going to tappy tap tap. And I think I'm going to powder. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury powder before I go on with the highlighter, because that is powder formula. And this is a little bit sticky. And this powder is so interesting, you guys. I saw an article or maybe saw a video recently in the past couple of months where somebody said that there is wax in this, which is why it really kind of obliterates your pores. It's almost like it's filling them in and gives you that flawless finish. Now before we go on with the powder highlighter, I wanted to do a swatch of this, which is a highlighter like this, but this is the original in Spotlight, which is my very favorite color. It's ideal for me. You can go strong with this or you can go very, very lightly. So this is Spotlight. It's a very smooth kind of look. And this is Pillow Talk. So they're quite different. This one is quite a bit more copper. So when I put my hand like this, it's deeper than my skin tone, which could be problematic for me. And this one is kind of a rosy. They describe it as a rose gold. So I'm not going to use this today because I do want to get into this, but we might pull it out if this isn't working for me. Pillow Talk Mult-Glow. And there it is. Now when I saw this, I immediately thought of two things. One, it's still being made to my knowledge. The Physicians Formula has that highlighter with the color strips in them, and it's really good. It is not chunky at all. And Boots number 7 had something like this, which I actually own both of those, but I'm not sure that I do anymore. I'll bring in pictures. This strip right here has glitter bits in it. This one has a little bit of a lavender. This one is a pink, and this one would be a beigey pink, and this is white. Let's swatch each little strip. So this is Pillow Talk, this is the Spotlight, and this is this entire palette right here. And again, swatching my hand, I'm thinking, well, this is pretty, and the color that has the glitter in it, I wouldn't really want that on my face, but I might want it on my eyes. And now I'm going to swatch the entire strip. And here's the entire strip right here. It relates to this one, you know, kind of, right? I think I'm going to do the entire strip. I can't find my brush still. I haven't cleaned up from my Sephora video because I had to pull out so many things. So it's probably in here somewhere. I'm going to use an eyeshadow brush. Now, the foundation is in 4N, and I think that's important information if you're trying to figure out, is this a highlighter that will work on you? And I did put on far more than I normally would, but right off the bat, I would say maybe I wouldn't go through all colors, I would go through all of them but the white. So I just wiped this off. We're going to do it again without going through the white. Okay, with this, it looks far more pink. You know, that's kind of pretty. It's interesting how omitting that white would make this look more pink, because I felt initially that it was a little peach. Okay, now I'm wondering what just these two would be together, so I'm going to do my nose with these two. I still feel like it's a little bit too icy. But nothing like a beauty blender to just kind of, it's a dry beauty blender. Now I like it. And remember that the second color that I used these two colors. This one has glitter bits in it, which I'm not super excited about. But I do feel like these would be really nice as a hazy wash all over your lid. I'm going to take this 21 brush and go in with this glittery shade, this shade with glitters in it, and do a little inner corner highlight. This might be too dark. I do think it's a little too dark. I'm going to go in with the white one over it. Okay. You know what, you guys? I feel like this has some really good potential for playtime. Now, I think I want to do just a touch of this. I just want to see. I'm going to pick it up with my finger. It's pretty punchy. I could put some on my eyebrows. I would normally not do something up here, and it might be a little too dark. I'm definitely going to play around with these. I have to say, I was thinking this might not work. Let me do my lip. I just, I don't think a nude is the way for me to go, but I'm going to use a liner, and I think this is called Pink Venus. I'm definitely not feeling the lip color. It feels so odd to me, maybe when it's just this look, but there we are. And I just, oh, I hate ring light. I just feel like my face looks super, super icy. And this may not be a fantastic representation, but it may be fine. We'll see. Let's go over it. I didn't have high hopes for this because of the glitter bits, but once I started working with it and mixing different colors together, this might be something I enjoy, and I definitely want to try this on the eyes and just see what's going to happen with that. And this too, when I tried it on yesterday, my hand, I thought this is far too dark for me, but, wow, it's so freaking shiny. But I think maybe not. I think this might actually work, so I'm going to play with that one again. The mascara I will put down below if it smudges or does anything funky, but I have been looking for a mascara in the brownish tone to help my eyes out a little bit, so I'm really thrilled that she did that, and I'm really thrilled that it doesn't have too much red in it, because that can make people look a little rabbity. So that I'm really, really happy about. The palette, for me personally, for my color preferences, I just am not seeing the pinkness. It looks more coppery. And I'll say it one more time. Keep in mind the light that I have on this is very different than what I usually have. So what I'm seeing in my monitor looks a little bit lighter than what I'm seeing in real life. I'm going to change my exposure a little bit. Oh my god, I should have shot the whole video in this exposure. Suddenly you can see light and color on my face, but you know what's so funny? A little bit more. I can see the camera kind of jumping around and figuring out what to do. Isn't that interesting? This represents closer to what I'm seeing in real life. So yeah, should have turned down my exposure at the beginning. I don't know. Do you think this has pink? But more importantly, do you feel like this is something that you want? I'm just not sure about me. They all perform beautifully. I'm going to show you the swatches again now that I've changed my exposure. So this is the Pillow Talk, and this is Spotlight. And this is the shade, all of them together. You can hardly see it. And then this is each individual shade of the highlighter. And yeah, I don't think the color is fully correct, but this is the eye. And this is Charlotte Tilbury's newest release, you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope it was helpful to you when you are making your purchasing decisions. And I hope you come back again. Until we meet again, be safe and smart, and I'm wishing you good health.